Fear never arrives like a storm. It comes quietly, settling into daily life until it feels normal. The story begins with a young person standing at the edge of their own potential, aware that something inside them wants more, yet unsure how to reach it. Every morning starts with intention and hope, and every night ends with the same familiar regret. Dreams are present, clear, and alive in the mind, but they remain untouched, locked behind hesitation. Fear does not shout or threaten. It whispers doubts that sound reasonable, almost protective. This person watches life move forward while they stay still. Opportunities appear, small at first, then bigger, but each one brings the same inner battle. Thoughts begin to pile up. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I try and prove that I am not enough? These questions repeat until action feels dangerous. Choosing comfort becomes easier than choosing growth. On the outside, everything looks fine. On the inside, fear tightens its grip. Days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months. The character compares themselves to others who seem confident and fearless. They see classmates speaking boldly, co-workers stepping up, strangers chasing dreams without apology. Each comparison deepens the feeling of being left behind. Fear uses these moments to grow stronger, convincing the mind that staying quiet is safer than being seen. The heart feels heavy, carrying dreams that never get a chance to breathe. The conflict reaches a turning point when a real opportunity appears, one that could change everything. It could be a chance to apply for something meaningful, to speak up when it matters, or to finally take the first step toward a long-held dream. The moment feels powerful and frightening at the same time. The body reacts before the mind can decide. The heartbeat speeds up. The hands feel tense. The voice inside grows louder, listing every possible risk. Time slows down in this moment. The world seems to wait while the decision hangs in the air. Courage and fear stand face to face, and fear feels stronger. The character remembers past mistakes, imagined failures, and the comfort of staying invisible. Slowly, painfully, they step back instead of forward. The opportunity passes, leaving behind silence. That silence is heavier than noise. There is no relief, only emptiness. The character realizes that avoiding fear did not bring peace. It brought disappointment. A quiet sadness settles in, not dramatic, but deep. This is the lowest point, where the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Fear has not protected them. It has cost them moments, chances, and belief in themselves. As the day ends, the character sits alone with their thoughts. The question that remains is simple but powerful. How long can someone live this way before regret becomes louder than fear? The story pauses here, holding the audience in this emotional space, preparing them for the change that must come next. Something shifts in the quiet after disappointment. It is not loud or dramatic, but it is real. The character begins to understand that fear has been deciding their life for them. Every choice, every pause, every step backward was made to avoid pain, yet the pain remained. This realization hurts, but it also brings clarity. For the first time, fear is seen for what it truly is, not an enemy trying to destroy them, but a shadow that grows only when it is obeyed. The thought arrives slowly and settles deep in the heart. Fear will never disappear on its own. Waiting to feel ready has only led to more waiting. The character understands that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward while fear is still present. This idea feels uncomfortable, yet strangely freeing. It removes the pressure to be perfect or confident. It allows action to begin exactly as they are. The next opportunity does not come with fireworks. It arrives quietly, almost unnoticed. A small chance to speak, to try, to show up. This time, the inner voice returns, just as strong as before. The same doubts appear, repeating old warnings. The body reacts again with tension and uncertainty. But something is different now. Instead of listening, the character pauses and breathes. They remember the emptiness of regret. They remember how silence felt heavier than fear. With shaking hands and a racing heart, they take the step they once avoided. It is not graceful. It is not confident. It is honest. The voice may tremble, the action may feel clumsy, but it happens. In that moment, fear does not vanish, but it loses its power. The character realizes they are still standing. The world does not collapse. No disaster arrives. What replaces fear is something unexpected. Relief. That relief grows into strength. Each small action builds on the last. The character begins to understand that bravery is built through repetition, not miracles. Some days are easier. Some days fear returns stronger. But now, it no longer controls the final decision. Progress becomes visible, not just to others, but to the person themselves. Confidence is no longer imagined. It is earned. There are moments of failure along the way. Not every attempt leads to success. Some risks lead to rejection or mistakes. But these moments no longer feel like proof of weakness. They feel like proof of effort. The character learns that failure is not the opposite of courage. It is part of it. Each setback becomes a lesson instead of a stopping point. Over time, the character notices a change in how they see themselves. They no longer define their worth by fear or hesitation. They see someone who acts despite uncertainty. Someone who chooses growth over comfort. The life that once felt distant now feels possible. Not perfect, not easy, but real. The story reaches its resolution not with applause, but with peace. The character stands in a place they once believed was unreachable. The most important victory is not the outcome, but the belief that they are capable of facing fear again. Fear still exists, but it no longer decides the direction of their life. The message becomes clear. Fear does not disappear before you act. It fades because you act. Courage is not a single moment, but a series of small decisions made daily. The story gently turns toward the audience, reminding them that their fear is not unique or permanent. It is human. The story ends with hope. A reminder that one small step today can change everything tomorrow. The character's journey becomes a mirror, inviting the listener to rise, to choose courage, and to begin, even if their hands shake.